Today on the candy aisle, we start an adventure to Argentina with Havanna's Alfajores. Welcome everyone to the show. My name is Jeff. We do candy reviews here on the candy aisle. And today, I've got something kind of special here. As you see in front of me, this is a box of Havanna Alfajores. It's a little beat up because I've been eating them, but I couldn't help it. So, somewhat recently, I went on a trip to Buenos Aires in Argentina, and it was great. I'd never been to South America before. I spent a week in sort of the Palermo area, primarily, of Buenos Aires, and I was seeing some work colleagues, and I was doing a little bit of tourist stuff, but it was great. Other than I didn't get to see a capybara in the wild, I had a really good time. There was a little bit of culture shock, of course, because, it's a different country, and I don't speak Spanish, but, just beautiful and super friendly people, really nice. I think Palmero, the neighborhood I was in Buenos Aires, which is like a massive, massive city, is like, I think the neighborhood I was in was kind of like hipster neighborhood. Don't quote me on that. And look, I am no expert on Argentina or Argentinian candy and chocolates, but while I was there, I picked up a lot of candy and chocolates. And lo and behold, I had no clue that it was like so baked into the culture. I've never, ever seen a place that has so many sweet shops, just everywhere. Like literally every half a block was, in America or Canada, we would call it a convenience store or a corner store, but it's not. In Argentina, it's like every half a block. And the primary thing that they sell is our sweets, our candies, sweets, cakes. It's everywhere. And I think that they really claim a lot of ownership over this, over the production, the invention of dulce de leche. And I think that maybe ties into why Argentinians have such a sweet tooth. And they must, because like these are just local, this was not just like the tourist neighborhoods I was in. These were just like local people hanging out, like very different cultural things there. So it was fascinating to me. People spend a lot of time outside. They spend a lot of time, it's at least from what I saw, a lot of time socializing. There's a lot of like late night drinking and partying and hanging out. And it's great. And aside from that, the candies and the sweets are really like a part of the cultural experience. And alfajores, which are these kind of cakes. They're kind of cake cookie things, basically, are a really, really, really popular item. So Havanna is a company from an Argentinian, food company, and they have stores all over the place. Like you would see a Starbucks, they have Starbucks in Argentina as well, but you would also see a Havanna next to it. Like you might see I know when I lived in San Francisco, there would be a See's Candy or a Ghirardelli around, or in Vancouver, a Purdy's chocolate. There's like chocolatiers and candy stores that you'd see around. So this would be like a sit down, like a restaurant where you would sit down and order sweets or like a coffee. It's a cafe basically, right? But they have their own in-house candies. Primarily these cakes. So alfajores are kind of like crumbly sort of cookies pressed together, and then they've got something in the middle. Oftentimes, I think it's dulce de leche, but not always. And then they're sometimes coated in a frosting or an icing of some kind. So this is a box of Havannas, and I only have this is a mixed box. So I've got a milk chocolate and a white chocolate here. And there are a bunch of other flavors, but I only have these two left because I've been eating them because they're really good. Havanna is a company that's been around. It's an Argentinian company. They're very, very well known, I guess, down there. I don't know if they're in other South American countries. Like, guys, apologies if I'm mispronouncing anything or I don't know all the details. Sorry. I'm not an expert, but I'm just telling you what I learned in the 1 week that I was in Buenos Aires and eating a lot of these. And they're very good. Already these are getting a little crumbly. So I figured I've got a lot of candy. What I'm going to do over the next I'm probably going to review it all right away so that it doesn't go bad, especially these cakes and cookies. And then I'm going to spread out releasing the reviews over the next, like probably over the next couple of months. Just because, so that usually, you know, and I review ahead of time, but not usually like months ahead. But I think I'm going to have to in this case before these things go bad. So the alfajor is the kind of candy, a kind of cake or cookie cake thing. But there are lots of different brands. Havanna is maybe the most famous. I've heard from Argentinians that they don't consider this the best. I got a few other kinds as well that I'll review. We're going to start today by looking at the just the milk chocolate, and then I'll do the white chocolate one afterwards. This may be the most sort of popular classic, and I've heard from Argentinians that like you're going to visit someone's house, you bring a box of Havanas, you bring a box of alfajores. Like this would be pretty typical. So here's how it looks. It smells great. And I think the history of the alfajore itself is it's Spanish or maybe even sort of Arab Spanish. Like it dates back to like over 1,000 years. Like it's been around for a very long time. This treat itself. Dulce de leche, of course, which is the center of this, is it's like a sweet milk, you know, sweet of milk is dulce de leche in Espanol, I think, and it's kind of like it's just a, you know, it's what do you call it? It's apocryphal, I'm sure, but the story from the Argentinians is that it was one of Columbus's you know, his cook who left the milk out in the sun, and it turned into this sweet brown candy, basically this kind of caramelized milk, it looks like. Anyway, it's used as a sweetener. Obviously, it's used as a you know, like a ganache you would use maybe or something. Anyway, it's used, or like a caramel. It's very similar to like a caramel. So it's in the center of this. Let's give this a try before it starts melting too much onto my fingers, and we go forever long without having eaten this. Oh my God. It's so good. That's why I kept eating these, because they're just so damn good. So there, you've got this kind of crumbly kind of a cookie encased in milk chocolate, but it's that dulce de leche in the middle. Oh man. It's so good. Like, I've had dulce de leche cakes in, you know, America and in Canada where I live. It doesn't taste like this, man. It just doesn't. This really hits different, honestly. This is really, really good. Having had a few, spending a week in Argentina, I'll say that this actually is not the best, but damn is it good. Like, I've got to adjust my rating scale because I know that there is better than this, but this is very, very good. And for someone who really hasn't, I guess, honestly, I haven't had that much exposure to dulce de leche. Not enough, certainly, because, man, once you've had the really good stuff, you're going to be looking for it. I think you're just going to keep on looking for it. I think they've done a great job with this. Though, like, overall, this is pretty fantastic. Kind of melts into your mouth. Great soft cookie, like a soft baked cookie kind of feel. And just a fantastic, that sort of caramel sweetness of the dulce de leche. I could almost use more. I could use more dulce de leche. I could just eat straight dulce de leche, to be completely honest. It's just so good. Man, this is good. I don't know where you can get these. Like, can you get these in America? Probably not. Maybe if you live in like New York or something, you've got like an Argentinian community. I don't even think in Toronto, kind of in that Toronto area. I don't even think in Toronto. Maybe, I think we've got like a Brazilian community. I don't think we have an Argentinian community here. Maybe we do. I wonder if there's got to be somewhere I could get these, right? I mean, Toronto's like big multicultural city, right? There's always the internet, guys. Find these if you can. I don't know if you can. Walking the candy aisle, I am going to rate this a 5 out of 5. I'm biased because I was there, because I got these at the Havanna store, because I was, because it's dulce de leche, because this is like a new novel experience for me, and because I'm so excited about all of the Argentinian candy that I brought back with me. There was a lot, guys. I had to stop myself because I'm like, I'm gonna literally do an entire year. Like, I could have easily brought back, if I'm doing one review a week, easily I could have brought back over 50 new candies. So much. So hopefully, hopefully the couple of months that I run with some Argentinian candies, you guys will appreciate it and seeing something new. Or if you're from South America, maybe you know this and love it already. I hope so. Why don't you guys let me know what you think about Havanna, about Alfajores? What's the best one? I apologize again about my pronunciation. I'm doing my best, guys. And at least hopefully I'm exposing some new people to some great new kinds of candies and cakes. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate your time today. If you're new, I'd love it if you wanted to subscribe, stick around. We've got lots more South American and Argentinian in particular candy coming up for review. And this is sort of how we do it. Just, long form chit chat. Regular person sort of giving their take on candy. Anyway, if that sounds good, I hope you'll stick around. Leave me a comment down below. And thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.